it makes me go like, okay. I listen to the music. I really love it. It's great.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ian, at 2002, you were in the opening show of Eric Clapton.
Yeah, that's right.
How come?
Well, every year, Eric Clapton on New Year's Eve, he plays a private concert for Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about it, but Eric Clapton for many years now has been an Alcoholics Anonymous member, if that's how one should describe it. And every year for several years he's been organising this concert in near to his hometown in the south of England, and there are usually about 1,500 people go, and they're all members of Alcoholics Anonymous and their families. And the idea is, I suppose, if you're trying not to drink, that New Year's Eve is one of the most difficult occasions to not drink. You know, so they have this event where they all can go, and there's a guy called Ravi Sharman who works for Eric in his road crew and production team.
Yeah.
And I got and for a while, a few years ago, Ravi was managing me. I had a band called Parker's Alibi, and that band did some shows opening up for Jeff Beck in London.
Yeah.
And Ravi also worked for Jeff, and so we got to know each other, and he sort of managed me, and then that's the connection really. And then Ravi got me onto the shows with Eric Clapton, because I'm a big fan of Eric Clapton. He has had a big influence on my music, and you know, from quite a young age, when I was in my early teens, I first heard Eric Clapton, and actually really it was really through Eric Clapton that I discovered the blues, really. I mean, I said earlier about I'd heard BB and I'd heard John Mayall.
Yeah.
But then Clapton, I really identified with his playing and his songwriting and everything else. And then I started to read about Eric Clapton in magazines or books or whatever, and discovered his passion for blues. So that's what made me think, I'd like to find out what all this blues stuff is that he's talking about. You know, it's beyond B.B. King. It's not just B.B. King, because B.B.'s obviously very famous, but it's like the people that I'd never heard of, all of these strange Mississippi guys, you know, and that Eric would talk very passionately about all of the time in interviews. So it was really important that for me, the idea of being at a show with Eric Clapton.
It was a great honour to you.
Yeah, I was very honoured just to be on the same, to say that I was going to play on the same stage as him that night was incredible for me. You know, it's very excited. And,
did you have a little chat afterwards or not?
I didn't speak to him. I didn't.
Unfortunately.
You know, no, I mean, you know, I don't know, what do you say to someone like that anyway? You know, it would be, just to be that close to him was a bit nerve-wracking, you know. But other than saying sort of hello and good night, you know, I didn't talk to him.
I know the feeling. Tonight you're going to Hoogveen, have a gig there. That would be great. Oh
yeah, well I'm looking forward to it. We do a lot of gigs in Holland, and especially in the last couple of years, we've been coming here a lot, and I really, really love it. You know, it's I just feel like the Dutch people respond with a lot of enthusiasm when they listen to music, and I have a really good following here. There's a very loyal following. The people that travel, and they come all over Holland. You know, some people will travel to all the shows. It's incredible, and it's really, really lovely. I'm always happy to be here, so I'm looking forward to tonight's show. It's going to be nice.
Okay, so we will be there too.
Great.
So, yeah, thank God I can see you then live. In your schedule, the last in November and December, you're a lot in the UK as well. Again.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we haven't been. Obviously, when I started playing, I was playing in the UK all of the time, and then since 2004, we've been on the continent a lot, and of course I still play in England and Britain, but it's getting to the point where we I feel like, and the fans in the UK are often complaining, it's sending me emails, you never play here anymore. So it's going to be nice to end the year back at home, and play for those people again. So
and next year, Holland?
Again? Yeah, next year, the next one in Holland, the next tour in Holland is coming up in March. The dates haven't all been finalised yet, but they will be on my website, ianparkermusic.com, very soon. My agent is working on that at the moment, and we'll probably come back 2 or 3 times next year. We do love to be here.
Okay, that's great. Just a question for you. I've got your CD, Where I Belong Here. Can you pick a song for us? What you want to prefer to hear?
Okay. Let me have a think about it. I'm trying to think what's good for you listeners. Well, I think maybe Love So Cold. I think that's the
Love So Cold. Number
7. That's
number 7. Unfortunately, I have to say, Ian, it's time for you to go to Hogeveen.
Yeah, I've got to go and do some work.
Yeah. Is it work for you? I think it's...
No, it's not.
It's
not
more than work, isn't it?
It's not. It has nothing to do with work once I'm playing. I mean, obviously, in order to do this, you have to take a professional attitude in order just to be. I mean, right now we're just at the very end of a long tour. We've been in Germany for the last 2.5 weeks, and everybody's pretty tired now. And and there is although it's each night is different, new people. It is a kind of routine to it. We wake up at a certain time, breakfast, travel usually for 5 or 6 hours, sound check, eat, show. So it's like there's a day's work to be done, and we have to take it seriously and respect the fact that people have paid to see a show, and we have responsibilities to the audience, to the promoter, etc. Yeah. But once I'm actually on stage playing music for 2 hours, it has nothing to do with work at all. It's it's a passion.
Yeah. So tonight you are in the Tamboer in Hogeveen. Yeah. It's a place really close by here. So people, if you wanted to see Ian Parker, please ask at the Tamboer if there are tickets available. I think maybe there are some tickets left, so they can see you there live. Fantastic. And then you go back to England after this?
We're back home tomorrow. So,
okay. Yeah. I wish you a safe trip. Thank you so much for being here at Blues Meets Rock.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. And I told you before, luckily we can see you live in Hogeveen. So we're coming right after you then.
Great.
Thanks again, and have a safe trip, and I hope you have a good gig there.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
So much talk about the way it was when life was everything it should be. Endless summers when every day was spent living the lie you call your memories. It's like a man should worship his past. The future is a place to be.